And as you said earlier on, with a striker, not Balotelli, not Lambert, with a striker or with Sturridge fit, like there's absolutely no, without a shadow of a doubt, we're probably 10 points, 12 points.
Well, hold that there, Andy, and it's coming back to something that Trevi mentioned. It's the last thing I want to do on this. What is it then that is going to help us make that breakthrough? Well, Phil said, do your business, get your 72 points.
Well, I'll tell you,
say maybe change manager, and you're talking about have a striker fit.
Last season, people were talking about the money that Suarez was that they're bringing, his transfer.
Yeah.
And he was irreplaceable. We all, accepted that. You don't just go out and buy another striker that's going to produce the magic that he did. So, and we all accepted the bench last year with Aspas and you name it, fucking Moses coming off the bench. We needed a squad. So he went and he bought a squad, and I think we deal with more players now he consider, they'll do a job than we did the previous season. So this is the summer now that you do maybe invest in maybe buy 2 players, maybe buy a striker, and whether you need to replace Gerrard or wait till wait a while and replace Gerrard. There's plenty of centre midfielders to do the quick. I give them the wage. Gerrard was on good money, so there's a freedom money there. Get rid of Johnson, he was on good money, and then maybe Brendan could be a bit creative around the squad and maybe sell a player or 2 valuable that aren't exactly working out.
So it's a mix of both. The reason I talk about the manager is it's not about sacking the manager. I said this before. It's not that he deserves the sack. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying one of the ways you break par is you get a manager that gets you more points.
Yes. Yeah,
right? So my argument is if there's a manager there that is available, Klopp as an example, that gets you 10% extra above par, I can see that's a shortcut to how you go and you say, but we'll just get a manager who'll get more out of the squad. The other way, which is the way I think we'll do it, is that you bring in no more than 5 players this summer. I don't need for any more than 5 players. I mean, if we get some frees in, fine. Not coming in for free, fine. You go out and you say, there have to be attacking players. You've got to replace Barini, Balotelli, and Lambert, right? So that's 3 strikers. You've got Origi coming in, so you've got to buy at least 2 strikers. And we need another inside forward. So the links to the likes of Depay and Son and these players, it all makes a lot of sense. Or what's the guy from Inter? Kovacic. So he was linked today. So I think those. Look, you fix a little bit of it in the transfer window. You fix a little bit of the structure at the club. If the manager stays, he has to be under no illusions as to what next season is all about.
Phil, anything else?
Yeah, look, again, I think, and we had, even before we bought a single player last year, we had the bones to a decent squad that was there. I disagree on the idea of buying squad players. I never believe in buying squad players. We should buy first-team players, and then those first-team players that were there before them become the squad players as such. That way you always strengthen your 11 and strengthen your squad.
But last one we did need quantity.
Oh, Andy, look, I'd still would have preferred to sign 4 or 5 really top quality stuff and supplement them with the younger team players. Even some of the players that we sent out. Like we sent Jordan Ibe out on loan, and then we brought him back because he was stronger than some of the players that we signed.
But in hindsight, I don't think we bought a squad player. Who did we buy the squad player last summer?
Lallana.
Well, Lallana has proved to be.
I don't think he was bought.
I think he is.
Yeah, but
I think the arguments that we would have had in the summer about Lallana was that he's a squad player. As opposed to, I'm not.
We can't just have 11. I know what you're saying.
But I'm not regurgitating. What I'm saying is, if we bought Son, who we're linked with now, right, instead of Lallana at the time for the money that we're talking about for Lallana, right, then he would have definitely been an addition to the first team. If you look at the level that he's played at this season and the goals he scored, as opposed to Lallana's level. All I'm saying, Dave, is that when I look at it, I'm saying a guaranteed nailed on first team player. Someone like Saka. When we signed Saka, he was a nailed on first team player for me. So it was like,
I agree with that strategy. I agree with the idea that we should be going out and buy in someone who goes on your starting 11. I no problem with that. The problem with transfers is it's easy to just, in hindsight, look back and say, well, if we just hadn't bought those 2 players, and bought these 2 players instead, our season would be different, And the reality is, it doesn't work like that. If we buy 5 players this summer, at least 2 of them are not going to work. And that's the
No,
reality.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
That brings it
And it
to-
could be our most expensive one
Yeah.
that we think is going to be the nailed on, absolute, the guy that's going to solve
brings
all
it
of
full
the
circle back to the manager
I
as well.
think a lot of the comments that have been coming in from the lads on Periscope, right? They
Stay away from the screen, yeah.
Well, no, yes, that's right. Unfortunately, most of the people they've only been on for fun. Professional, right? So anyway,
You've missed some great content.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I would say.
do you remember when Dave got naked?
Yeah, right there.
But there's comments there about
No, there is.
Manquillo being
The
Cam,
squad player,
Chan,
Chandler, the squad player.
Lallana,
Yeah. There's also one about
Lambert.
Trev being.
Well, we didn't buy
Margaret.
Manquillo. And James not
Reina.
Yeah, he kind of is, like, he's still
Also, your
20.
jacket's on point again.
Like, you don't say, right, here's this 20-year-old, bang, straight in.
But I think we have different interpretations of what squad player means. For some people, a squad player is a player who is not good enough to play in your starting 11,
Yeah.
and he's just someone who's only good enough to be on the bench. My idea of like a first team player is he's in your 14 or 15 players who can play in your starting 11. I don't think, you know what I mean?
No, I mean,
is a squad player.
I mean, we go out in the summer and you buy a striker, and that's it. You're number 9, you know, that's you, and you're playing. Like, we can't rely on Sturridge. I love the idea of Sturridge being the main man. I thought he'd try on it. But if he was fit.
Yeah.
So we need to buy a new main man. Someone who, unfortunately, Sturridge has to play in his shot.
I think he prefers a partner though, Sturridge as well.
Yeah.
So I think it wouldn't be
Yeah,
bad.
so
Yeah.
but when he's fit, he
When
can
he's
link
fit,
up or whatever. But unfortunately for him, he has the injuries. Until he can overcome all of that, he's never going to be the main man. So we bring in, you know, your Higuanzi or Benzema or someone. You go out and splash the cash. It's going to be very difficult, but unfortunately, like that's where we're at, because otherwise you're buying risk. Like,
Which is all we seem to be linked with.
Well, I think at the top end of the pitch, you're trying to minimise as much risk as possible.
Yeah.
So if you and I don't know, maybe if the links that were the players that were being linked with, I suppose this is just to close off the Periscope and the
we might as well chat about it. You know,
4 minutes that the lads on YouTube got, right?
All right, lads.
But you know, if you go back to it, like, and the players that were linked with, if we're looking at a lot of free signings, right, or relatively low cost signings, Ings, Milner, Neto now was linked this morning, and there was somebody else in States minded that were linked.
Garbutt is it the Everton kid? I think is free.
Yeah, right. And you're looking at those. The only thing that I'm thinking to myself is maybe that's because we're keeping the big money for the goals. And you know, I know there's a bit that we'll talk about later on, and people have to listen to the pod for that bit. But around about quality and upgrade and how you go about doing that type of, you know, target identification and what's our minimum requirements about it. But like, that's my only hope. I hope we're not fishing in the free bucket, because the FSG aren't prepared to back Brendan. And I've already said to you, I fully expect him to be here next season. Whether I agree with that choice or not, that's a different thing. But I fully expect him to be here. But
I don't think they're going to buy a single player for him though. It's not about backing him. I don't think he's going to have a single. I think he's going to say it all in transfers. It'll be about whoever is making those decisions.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
the players you named there will be perfectly capable of coming in and replacing the shite that we hope to be moved out during the summer. Like, if you look at the squad now, including the ones on loan like Aspas, like, to be gone, like, there is probably about.
There's nothing exciting about it, is there?
No, there's not.
Those
But
names.
if you get rid of 10 players, like, Milner is a quality player. Like, you know,
Milner's a starting 11 player.
I think
it's
Milner's a better
absolute-
option than Joellen. Let's be honest about this,
Yeah.
because I think Emre Can does what Joellen does, but better.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Henderson does something else that Joellen doesn't do, and I think that if you have Milner in there, he'll do more than what Joellen.
He's also an upgrade on the current
and that's-
position.
And Henderson runs his nuts off, and it does take toll on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Milner would be perfect for bringing him into the team and leaving Henderson out, because he will give you that bit of energy.
or sharing them.
Milner is the epitome of a no-brainer. I understand why people are against it, is because they think that's going to be symptomatic of the summer.
Yeah.
But if our signings, for argument's sake, went, we landed Memphis Depay on July the 1st and Milner on July the 2nd, nobody cared. Do you know what I mean? Everyone would be saying how great Milner is then, because we've landed a big target. So I think it's about the frustration and all the transfer landing big targets. And I think this is the summer. If ever we're going to do it, we've got to go and make a statement and get some.
And there's the people are thinking that I'm not allowed beyond the camera tonight.
No, you're not.
Well, if anyone's watching on YouTube, I've been well on the camera. I got it.
Makes perfect sense.
Let's see.
Makes perfect sense. In fairness, you're going up close enough there now. But I have to make up for it. Right, have we
DJ Stewie.
have we anything from the folks there that we want to touch
And
on?
no, most of them just commented on your likeness to Pepe Reina, or just being very bald, or how wonderful your jacket is.
Yeah.
We've also had a comment around, does Trev know that this isn't television, it's YouTube, so you don't need to dress up for it.
So I hope you told me it was
Fucking waistcoat, man.
I know, yeah, waistcoat and everything.
He always looks like this.
He came straight from the pub.
I
reading the book.
genuinely do. Don't mind me. Right, so we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Say goodbye to the YouTubers. Goodbye, YouTubers.
Okay, folks.
Better press that button this time.
Yeah, turn the off button, seeing you forgot.
And